following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Get down. That's a really good intro music.
The bass has got some funk to it. Here we go.
Oh yes, Silent Partner. Shout out to them. Welcome everyone to the happy hour edition, another happy hour edition of No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts, and to my right is the man who told me earlier he's going to buy 69 bars of the new Dr. Squatch soap featuring Sydney Sweeney's bathwater, Dustin Henry. Dustin, how are we doing tonight?
Funny enough, and I wish I could go dig through the trash and show you, I did get an order from Dr. Squatch this very night when I pulled up home after enjoying a couple happy hour brews before the podcast.
Hey.
But unfortunately or fortunately, no matter how you look, depending on how you look at it, Sydney Sweeney's bathwater suds were not among the varieties of Dr. Squatch that I have gotten. But next time, yes, next time, infused with her actual bathwater, I hear. I don't know what this world has come to, man.
We are falling further and further from God's light.
Oh man, but it does me good to be here tonight. You know, Saturday morning, I'm not going to lie. Saturday morning's going to feel a little weird because we don't have the show, but Friday night and it's feeling right. And we got some stuff to get into. I'm in a good mood. You can guess from my headline if you're watching live on YouTube. But how are you today, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm excited. It's Friday. It's a short week at work. Same as last week, but this week is also. But I'm excited to talk about some sports, to drink some good beer from my home state of New Jersey. FYI, spoiler alert. We'll allude to our brews in just a moment. But we're gonna talk about Stanley Cup Final rematch. Excuse me. I'm talking about the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees.
The New York Yankees.
We're going to talk about the snafu with the season ticket holders of the Washington Capitals. Somebody's getting fired.
Oh.
And as you can see in my tagline, whether you're watching live or on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel tomorrow morning, we're going to talk about Shane Gillis addressing the Albany crowd a few weeks ago at his appearance at the MVP Arena about bringing back the Albany Riverettes and how I think I know a way of bringing it back, and it should involve Shane Gillis. And we're going to talk about our favorite athletes to wear the number 39. But before we do that, hope you have a drink in hand and ready to talk sports in the discussion, whether you're watching on YouTube, live, Facebook, or on Twitter. But before we do all that, just got to take care of some business and remind you to follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. And also check out our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, and Pandora. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube. That way you know when shows go live, when we have show announcements, when we have show clips go up. I put our review of Draft Day. I clipped that and I put that on the No Credentials Required YouTube page this week. The full show is on the Belly Up YouTube page, so subscribe to them if you want to watch replays of this podcast in video form. This will be live for tonight, but it'll be on Belly Up Sports YouTube tomorrow. And on the podcast side, rate, review, comment. 5-star rating is helpful. Leave a review if you're able to leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Also, on Spotify, if you're subscribed on Spotify, leave a comment. Or if you're on our YouTube page, because this audio will also be on our YouTube page when the podcast is published, leave a comment in the comments section on the podcast side. And because we're a live show on Tuesdays at 6:30 Eastern and most Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, unless one of us has something going on. Tomorrow, I'm going to support my sister at her adult tap class dance recital. So that's why we're doing it tonight, a special happy hour tonight. We're usually on Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, on the occasional happy hour on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern or 8:15 in this case, because I was on Total Football Talk with our friend of the show, Drew Willingham, earlier. We want to hear from you. We want to see your comments. And I know it's a happy hour now, Dustin, but this tune is always on the jukebox in the no credentials required realm.
A different night, and that is fine. It will always be chime time.
Hey. And then we had a comment before we went on live from Desi saying sports ball and kitties. Yeah.
She was here and ready.
Yeah, she was here and she was ready. But first off, before we get to all the sports discussion, we're going to talk about what we're drinking tonight. And my friend, I'm going to start off with you. What you drinking right now?
Okay, well, right now, I said to myself, I'm running low on beer. I got to go and pick up some beer for the show.
Hey.
So I stopped by a local area legendary convenience store known as Stewart Shops, and I picked up a tall boy of the Tropical Beer Hug. It's an Imperial IPA. It is 9% alcohol by volume, so I'm going to be a little tipsy, especially with the fact that I was already out for happy hour with a former coworker, and I had a couple of beers. So here we go. It says a beach vacation for your taste buds. And it is brewed by the Goose Island Beer Company, which I have enjoyed a lot of Goose Island stuff before. And I particularly like their Shandy pack, the Shandy variety pack, but I can't find it at beverage centers around here. I found it once and it was delicious. And I've had a couple of sips of this, and tropical beers, I'll be honest, tropical beers aren't always my jam. And this one, I'm going to be slow drinking this one, partially because it's 9% by volume, but also the tropical notes are definitely there. And like I said, I got it pretty much because I liked the name, and I also really liked the can art. You know, you got a bear with the sunglasses there.
Aww.
So I really like that. I like the color scheme. I'm a big fan of teal. But, you know, upon the first couple drinks of this, I kind of wish it was a little lighter. It's an IPA, and I was hoping for more of like a juicy thing, but it feels a little heavier than that. And it could be that because the beer that I drank before coming on the show was very light. So it could just be my palate wasn't expecting it. I'm going to enjoy this, but candidly, I don't know that I would get it again. But I got the whole show, and we know as it goes on, I'll probably be enjoying it a little bit more. So
I'm laughing at the comment that just popped up in the comment section from your brother-in-law. New show idea. No breathalyzer required. Talk about local craft brews with Craftmaster Ryan. So there you go. There's another nickname for you for the show, Dustin.
Yeah, there we go. You got a lot of them. Craftmaster Ryan, Encyclopedia Ritanica, Rye Stradamus, the Sake Master. Only real fans know about the Sake Master.
Only real fans know. Only real OGs know about the Sake Master.
But thanks for tuning in, Nick. But do you know that this is not a movie review episode?
Yeah, I know, right? It's surprising that he's in the comment section tonight. But yeah, Nick, tune in Tuesday. We're reviewing Seabiscuit upon recommendation from your missus.
Yeah.
So and Desi saying, I'm drinking. I'll censor it.
Yeah.
Socks on the beach. Trying to make it last all episode. Yes, I said socks.
We should make our own version of the drink called Socks on the Beach.
That's a great idea for a beer name. Socks on the Beach.
Yeah, all right. Yes! That's your first official brew
as a
brewmaster. Socks on the Beach. That's going to be awesome.
I hope so. I got to figure out what kind of beer it's going to be, though.
Well, you're a
what?
Pilsner man.
I'm a Pilsner lager guy for sure. Crispy
Yeah.
beers. I love myself a crispy beer. Although the beer I'm drinking is not a crispy beer tonight.
Okay, what are
But
we
yeah,
drinking?
it might have to be like a very. I mean, one of our favorite places on earth, Dustin, is the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Oh,
We've been on
yes.
vacations together with
Yes.
our sisters and with your aunt and uncle, and last year with your brother-in-law, who's in the comments section.
Yeah.
He also asks, what will it be made with? Dirty hot dog water? No, that's gonna be my street vendor beer. That's what's gonna be. That's what's gonna be inspired by dirty hot dog water. That's
Oh,
right.
Ryan, I'm gonna brew a beer too. And
Yes.
I'm gonna call it crab juice. If you're a Simpsons OG, you know what that is.
I didn't get the taste of my mouth. What do you got? Mondura crab juice. Mondura crab juice. Ew. I'll take the crab juice.
I know. That's the best.
Crab juices later.
Doesn't he drink like 3 crab juices or something? Because then he has to use the bathroom.
Yeah. He's like, hey, buddy, you got a bathroom in there? No bathroom, only clutch. Where do I go to the bathroom? Tower.
Yeah.
I was actually reading about that character in the Simpsons Wikipedia today. He's made 2 appearances on the show.
Oh, okay.
The street vendor. So who's in that episode of Homer versus the City of New York.
Yep.
And he was in another. Yeah, and he was in another episode. I can't remember which one it was.
Oh man.
But that's actually one of my favorite episodes. When
it's a classic.
It's a classic one. Homer goes to New York City because Barney left his car there to spite Homer. And the rest of the family's like, we're gonna go on an excursion. Yay. And Homer's just trying to not get his wallet stolen or fall in a sewer, get chased by a pimp. But anyway, back to the original topic conversation.
Yes.
But yes, I want to make a beer that's inspired by our journeys to the Outer Banks, and I will call it Socks on the Beach.
Oh, nice. That's gonna
be like a Pilsner or a Kolsch or a lager, something like that. Because it's easy drinking. Like if you're on the beach, you want to drink something easy that's easy going, easy drinking. You don't want to drink like a porter or a stout or an imperial.
And you and I have talked about this as well. That as the seasons change, our beer drinking tastes change, and
Indeed it does.
And I like this time of year. I like what I like to call lawnmower beer. That's why I drink shandies a lot in the summer, because I'll mow the lawn and I'll crush a shandy or a Radler.
There we go. A shandy called lawnmower beer.
There we go. All right,
I'll give you credit for that.
We're cooking with gas.
We're cooking
with gas. But I'm going to make a brew called crab juice. Yet to be determined what it actually is, but
it has Old Bay seasoning as part of the.
Oh man! I'll send one to Eric Arditi.
Yes. He'll appreciate it. He'll drink it down. He loves himself some Old Bay, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, the beer I'm drinking tonight, it's from my home state of New Jersey. Yes, I'm a New Yorker at heart. I've lived here, 40 years. This year, like in February, we celebrated our 40th year, if you want to call it celebrating.
Yeah.
But I'm a New Jersey boy at heart. I love the shore. I love the beach. And the last time I was in New Jersey, I picked up a case of the Cape May Brewing sampler, which includes their Cape May IPA, and it's awesome. It's an American IPA with hops and floral citral notes. So it's definitely made with a citra. The citra hops are definitely present in the beer. But I put 3 of these cans in this bad boy.
Oh man, we're getting after it.
My New York Yankees mug that my dad gave me and my brothers each, one of each for Christmas a long time ago. I've also got a picture with the same logo on it. So
man,
my New York Yankees fandom is showing up in this, but it's a 6.3%. So but it's a healthy beer. It's a nice beer. It's an IPA. And this is the time of year that, like you said, Dustin, I'm a seasonal beer drinker. So this time of year, it's spring. I want to have myself a lighter beer, like an American IPA. Definitely a lighter beer. Pilsners, wheats, Kolsch's, lagers, crispier beers. Something that's going to hit your tongue
Yeah.
Hit your tongue really nice, and also give a little bit of a snap to it. You can also drink dry stouts and dry porters as long as it's very dry. Like they don't want anything like really heavy. Also,
Yeah.
sours, like fruited sours, are also in. So,
Yeah.
and I'm can't wait this because June's coming up, and one of my favorite beers in the world is going to be in production soon from Slick Fin Brewing up in Fort Edward. It's called Sunday Fun Day. It's a watermelon beer. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, you've
It's so
always
good.
been a fan of the watermelon beers.
Yes.
You were the one that introduced me to the what was it, Hell or High
Hell or High
Watermelon?
Watermelon. Yes. And
Yeah.
this beer, the Sunday Fun Day, is better. It's
Oh,
better
awesome.
than the Hell or High Watermelon. So I think it's a watermelon pilsner, if I'm not mistaken, or watermelon lager. But once it's in production, I'm going to head up there, give me a couple crowlers, and bring them back down. And during a baseball game at your place, with your broken picnic table,
With my collapsed picnic table
over cigars,
yeah.
we're gonna watch a Yankee game and enjoy ourselves, and we're gonna split a crowler of not Hell or High Watermelon, Sunday Fun Day by Slick Fin. So,
Oh yeah.
but we're gonna get into it. Cheers, my friend.
Hey,
Cheers to everyone
you.
watching.
Cheers
Appreciate
to
you tuning
everybody.
in.
Whoa. When they said tropical notes, they are not kidding.
These are at Sunshine saying, "I'm not wearing socks." She also says, "Watermelon moonshine is awesome."
Oh, I haven't had that.
I've never had. I'm not into moonshine, but that's okay. You know,
I only had apple pie moonshine. I've had that.
I've had it too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna get into this episode, this happy hour, talking about the Stanley Cup rematch. It's a rematch, baby.
Oh,
the Edmonton
man.
Oilers and the Florida Panthers will face each other in the first Stanley Cup rematch since 2008 and 2009, when Detroit and Pittsburgh faced off in the Stanley Cup Final in consecutive seasons. That was back when the Red Wings were in the Western Conference. They've moved over to the Eastern Conference since, but this is the first rematch in quite a while, and we don't see many rematches in the Stanley Cup Final. It's very rare to see one, but this playoff season, I kind of saw this coming when we saw the finality of the standings.
Yeah.
And you saw the results, and these two teams have been on a collision course since the opening round. Edmonton's on quite a heater right now. Since they dropped their first two games against the Los Angeles Kings. They're 12-2.
Yeah.
They won the last 4 games of that series and against Los Angeles. They beat Vegas in 5 and they beat Dallas in 5. On the other side of the bracket, Florida beat Tampa Bay in 5, beat Toronto in 7 in that really great series. That really fun series.
That was a good one.
And then absolutely steamrolled Carolina. Let's face it this way. They steamrolled through Carolina. Yes, they won in 5 games, but the first 3 games were laughers. And you could tell this was kind of this was on the horizon. The storm was on the horizon. It was coming. So I think we're in for a hell of a series. It's going to be so much fun. And we got Snowman checking in. On the floor, my head is sore. I can't take anymore. Oilers in 4, sports ball. Let's go BC Lions.
I see what you were doing there, Snowman. How are you? How are you?
He's doing his alternative play-by-play call on his channel right now. So I dropped the link in the chat saying we're about to go live. Stop by at halftime. Let's have some fun.
Oh yeah.
So Desi saying this might be one of the most epic Stanley Cup series in a while. Last year's was pretty epic.
Yeah, last year's
3-0 down. Edmonton's 3-0 down. They come back to tie the series and they lose in a heartbreaker in Game 7.
Yeah.
But she's not wrong. This is going to be one of this epic Stanley Cup series once again.
This one is building up, Ryan, and you asked me off air. You said, how are you feeling about this? And the one word I gave you, and it's my honest answer, is nervous. Because if Edmonton was going up against anyone else in the East, I would feel good about it. But the Panthers are an absolute wagon, and they have been, as you like to say. They have been. And the Oilers have a different feel this year. You know, once they got, because I was not confident. I have gone on record as saying I didn't think they would be able to beat the Kings for, what was it, a 4th consecutive time? I didn't think they were going to get past the Kings, but when they went down 0-2 to the Kings, I'm going, oh man, this is going to be bad. This is going to be what I thought. But then when they came back, I started to notice, I said, you know what? Edmonton has a different feel this year. And to me, it's because people forget Leon Draisaitl is one of the better goal scorers in the game. It helps that he plays on a line with Connor McDavid, but don't take anything away from Leon Draisaitl. He is a great goal scorer for the Edmonton lineup, but he did not score in the playoffs last year. It was a thing. He scored his first goal either in the Stanley Cup Finals or in the Western Conference Finals. He really was struggling to score last year, and Leon Draisaitl has scored more this postseason. But to me, the X factor has been some of the veteran leadership of Corey Perry. Corey Perry has been clutch in some games. He was he made clutch plays in the Vegas series. He scored a goal in the Stars series last night in the closer. Hats off to the Stars for battling back because they went down 3-0 pretty early. I think a lot of teams would have just wilted. The Stars did not do that. But
sorry, the comments in the comment section real quick.
I saw that one too.
Go ahead.
But I'm still nervous. I'm still nervous because I agree. Yeah. I agree with Connor. The Oilers do feel different this year. He said they're a different squad. They're more resilient. They have the ability to battle back. They're not going to wilt under the pressure. And hats off to Chuck Knobloch, who has done a great job in his 2 years as coach. He's managed to push. I heard them say in the broadcast last night, he's managed to push all the right buttons at all the right times. And he has. He probably doesn't get enough credit for the job that he's done. However, with all that being said, I'm very nervous about how this series is going to go because I feel like the Panthers, after being a terrible team for a few years, they've really, really come on, and they have players. They can beat you any which way, and they can score with anybody. And you just saw it the way they just kind of mowed through the East. You know, man, I'm nervous about this. But I have a question for you, Ryan, before I get your thoughts on the series. Is this the year, if the WWE does another collaboration and they have that Oilers belt, is this the year that I get it?
Tell you in a second. Let's go to the comment section real quick. Your Uncle Al chiming in, who we just talked about with Outer Banks. He said, it sucks that we have to wait for a week for the Stanley Cup Final to start.
Yes.
Yeah, it starts on Wednesday. So, and by the way, stay tuned. On Belly Up Sports, we're going to have a Stanley Cup Super Show before the series starts. I don't know when. I got to work it out with heads of management, but I've committed to hosting the show months in advance. So we're going to work it out this weekend and figure out when we're going to go live and talk about this series and make our predictions. Awesome. And Gaz checking in front of the show, Tom Gazlowski saying, congratulations to Brain McCarthy on his Ivy League diploma. Way to go, Bry! Thanks, Todd McCloskey.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say it if you did it. I was going to say it if you didn't.
I'll tell you the story about the legend of Todd McCloskey. So this is in between, while Gaz was between jobs at ESPN Radio at 104.5 and Fox Sports 980 95.9. He was doing a gig for Channel 6, our local CBS affiliate.
Yep.
And he did a thing on the Travers. He did a special summit for them at the Travers. And I'm at the gym because I knew who was going to be on soon. He was at the gym, and I saw the closed captioning because I knew the report was coming on. And I saw the closed captioning, and I don't know if the closed captioning typist misheard the name. Mm-hmm. Instead of Tom Gazlowski, they put Todd McCloskey. And I've been calling him Todd McCloskey ever since, and especially during the Albany Empire broadcasts on YouTube. Like, hey, where's Todd McCloskey? And he would text me a while. Well, I comment in the comment section. He was dying. He was trying not to break. He's trying not to break during the broadcast. Desi saying, "Sorry, Dustin. Florida gets another one." Hey, listen.
Yeah.
I think let's take a step back and talk about this series for a bit. All right. I think the one thing that has changed with Edmonton this year is that they're not over relying on Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
Zach Hyman,
Yes.
unfortunately, got injured in game 5 or game 4, excuse me, and he's out. Yeah, game 4. He was injured in game 4 by a check from Brian Marchment, and he had to get surgery. I don't know what kind of injury he had, but it was some sort of freak injury after that collision, and he's out for the rest of the playoffs. He had to have wrist surgery, out for the rest of the playoffs. Jeff Skinner, who is persona non grata in Buffalo, went to Edmonton. He scored a goal in his first game playoff. I think this was his first playoff goal period.
Oh wow!
In the NHL, and he played with Carolina. He played in Hockey Purgatory, also known as Buffalo. Went to Edmonton, didn't really play a whole lot this year. He scored his first NHL goal in Game 5 against Dallas.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that's changed this year with this Edmonton team is that they have depth scoring now. Everyone's contributing. Like you mentioned, Draisaitl's contributing. He had a terrible playoff last year. He stepped it up this year.
Yep.
Bouchard, Corey Perry has stepped it up. They brought him in. They brought him back. He's stepping it up with the scoring. Who's that defenseman? Bouchard?
Yeah. Well, they have it. Well, and it's Darnell Nurse, Henrique, and yes, I believe Bouchard. Yes.
I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but I'm looking it up right now. Current roster here. Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
He's been contributing. He was like that last year too, with the team. So, but yeah, everybody's stepping it up. Everyone's stepping it up. Yeah, Evan Bouchard. Yeah, I was right. Don't doubt yourself, Ryan. John Klingberg's back in the lineup. And I think I said this on this very program a couple weeks ago, Dustin, when you got worried after they went down 0-2 to the Kings. Stuart Skinner gets yanked. They bring in Calvin Pickard. Calvin Pickard wins them game 3 of that series. Gets injured in game 4. Stuart Skinner comes back, and you went no. And I said, hey, hold on. Remember what happened last year in that series against Vancouver when we got absolutely wagoned down by the Vancouver Canucks, got pulled in game 3. Calvin Pickard wins game 4. They win that series in 7. They go on to the Stanley Cup Final.
Yeah.
I said, that's what happened last year. I bet it'll happen this year. And look what happened. Reister strikes again, baby.
It's true. You were right.
Cup Final.
I was ready. I was ready to mention that. If you did not, I was going to say you called it about the goalie switch and everything. And I did have to credit Skinner for coming back in and getting it under control. But
Stuart Skinner has been tremendous since that series against the Kings. I think it just seems like this last year's playoff and this year's playoff. He just needs to take a game off, get yanked, take a game off, get benched, and get his head together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I said, don't worry about it. Think about what happened last year. Got yanked in game 3 against Vancouver. They won game 4. They went to the final. I think the same thing is going to happen, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So no worries.
Yes. And it seems like they're playing. And sorry, Chris Knobloch. I realized I called you Chuck.
There
was the Freudian. It was the Freudian slip.
It's the Dustin error. The name error with the name mess up, which is part of the program. It's now staple in the program now.
It is, and I pulled my own Todd McCloskey moment, which I I do remember that story from one of the last times they were guests on the show. I still got to get that Screech Firebirds jersey that Levesque told me that I should get. So
Yes, you need to get it. Yes, and we also need to go down to the last Firebirds game against the when they could possibly go finish the season 10-0, and then they're at home the next. The championship goes through Albany.
Yep.
So if they've already clinched home field without the playoffs. So on the 14th, they play Washington. It could possibly end the season 10-0. Then it's the semifinals at home, and then possibly the championship at home. The pink hand of Sapna has appeared saying, "Sports ball!" Drinking some beer tonight. Sapna, hope you're also drinking as well. And your Uncle Al has also chimed in saying, "Dustin has the yips."
I always have the yips. It's how I live my life, Uncle Al. You know this.
Yeah. Hey, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all have errors. Sometimes they're on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save my prediction for the series.
Okay.
For the show, but I will for the Belly Up Super Show for the Stanley Cup. Although I did kind of give a spoiler on my Twitter profile last night when I said, and I quote myself here. Where is it? There it is. Kids eat tricks, pick up sticks, fresh new kicks, Oilers in 6.
Oh, man.
And Uncle's saying, "No hard feelings, Dustin. I made a mistake once." Just once, Al. Just once.
Just once. Just once. He's that kind of guy. I'll say it. I'm nervous. I'm gonna select. I said that like I own an NFL team and I was making a draft pick. But I'm gonna say it's gonna take 7 games. And ultimately, I think because the Oilers have a slightly different feel this year, I'm picking them, and I hope this doesn't go the way of my Orioles pick. Please, please. I almost picked the Panthers to try to reverse jinx them. So
you should. You should.
Yeah.
I think you should. I think you should. But I thought about this too, about the opponents for these two teams before in the conference final.
Yeah.
Thought about the Carolina Panthers, Hurricanes. They had lost 15 conference games in a row before they won Game 4, and then Game 5 had 2-0 lead in the after the first period. Panthers come back. They not only tie the score, but they also go up by 1. Hurricanes tie the score. Then with 7 minutes and change left in the third period, Florida goes ahead, doesn't surrender the lead again.
Yeah.
The Stars, on the other hand, for the second consecutive year, they lost in 6 last year, but they lost in 5 this year. They had a big game in Game 1. They had 5 third period goals, and then Oilers clamped it down the rest of the series. Are the Carolina Hurricanes, this is a thought that came to my mind, are the Carolina Hurricanes and the Dallas Stars carbon copies of each other? In a sense?
I think I could see that. But I would say, and this is no shade to the Hurricanes, but the Stars I'll give the edge to a little bit because they battle back. They battle back still, and I feel like Carolina doesn't battle back as much. But yeah, I think that parallel it's kind of apt. It works for it. But I'll say the Stars are just a little bit more. They have more grit to my eye. I mean, I really. Okay. I called it last night. I was watching the game. I went over to a friend's house. I was watching the game. And when the Oilers went up 3-0, I said, the Stars will battle back. And they did. They did. But then they brought it to within 1. I'm not sure that the Carolina Hurricanes could have done that, but I think partially it speaks to how good the Panthers are. I think maybe against another team, the Hurricanes could have done that because the Hurricanes have talent, but
yeah,
I don't think I give the Stars a slight edge, but yes, their fates have been eerily similar. And you've been spot on, because even when the Hurricanes played the Devils, you said that series was going to go one of two ways, and unfortunately, you were right about the second way that you said it could go. When you were talking with Brent. So but yeah, I think they're kind of have similar feels, especially the last 2-3 seasons. Because
Yeah.
didn't before the Stars lost to the Oilers last year, didn't they lose? Wasn't it the Vegas Golden Knights the year before that? I'm trying to remember.
If I remember correctly, the Stars were in the Stanley Cup Final in 2020.
Oh, okay.
They lost in 6 to the Lightning. They lost in the first round in 2021. 2022. Hang on, let me check it out.
I thought at one point they played the Golden Knights, and it might have been. I thought it was Western Conference Finals, but I don't know for sure.
Let's take a look at champsarechumps.us.
I get everything crossed up these days, I feel like.
So 2021 they missed the playoffs in
Okay.
that very shortened season. Thank you, COVID jerks. Lost in the first round in 2022. Lost in the conference final 2023 and 2024. I think they lost in 2023. They lost in 2023 to the Calgary Flames.
Oh, the Flames. Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Okay.
Johnny Gaudreau, may he rest in peace. And I hope that guy who ran him over gets life in prison, then some. But yeah, it's I saw there was a stat on OptaStats. It says, didn't you know about the Carolina Hurricanes? You want to hear something real messed up?
I'm sure. Yeah.
The Hurricanes have won a playoff series in 7 consecutive seasons, but have failed to win the championship round during that span. No other team in NHL, NBA, or Major League Baseball history have done that in more than 5 straight years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some heartbreak for Hurricanes fans. And
Yep.
no disrespect, but am I still mad about 06? Yeah. So I don't have much sympathy for you. And also, let's be real. You should still be the Whalers. You should still be in Hartford.
Dun, 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 dun. Bum,
Should have
bum.
just expanded. Should have kept the whale.
Yeah, I mean, go to the markets where you go.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just interesting how Carolina has won a playoff series in 7 consecutive years, but have failed to reach the final round. It's if you're a Carolina Panthers. I keep messing up. Carolina Panthers. If you're a
defense
Carolina,
is intense.
your defense is intense. Beer.
Yeah.
No, if you're a Carolina Hurricanes fan, either I understand that you're proud of your team. I get it. I would be the same thing I'll be the same way if my Devils got to the conference championship this year.
Yeah.
But to go there to win a round in 7 consecutive playoff series and not make it to the championship series, you gotta wonder, like, is it time for a change at the top? Is it time for Rod Brind'Amour to go? Even though they gave him an extension at the end of last season, and he was connected to how many different teams after that season. Is it time for a change, or do you just need to retool the roster? Because I've always said, and it's always true in hockey, you ride a hot goaltender all the way.
Yeah.
And it just seems like Freddie Anderson and Pyotr Kochetkov, or I think it's just what his name is. Let me see. What was his name? Kochetkov. Yeah, Peter Kochetkov. You can't ride a tandem to the Stanley Cup Final. You got to ride one goaltender.
Yeah.
And I remember Carolina Hurricane fan getting very cocky, especially at the first 2 rounds. Oh, Freddie Anderson's playing great. Freddie Anderson's playing really well. Freddie Anderson didn't see a whole lot of shots until this past round. And it came back to bite them. Yeah. And Carolina just got absolutely just smacked in the face again by a Florida Panthers team that, yeah, they play gritty, but they can score goals, and they can score goals in bunches, and they will make sure you know that they're the better team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Kachuk's out there. He's going to let you know.
Kachuk and Marchand. Marchand. Remember, don't forget, Brad Marchand's now on that team. He was part of the trade deadline for them. So we get some comments in the comments section before we take a commercial break. Your Uncle Al saying, yeah, I thought it was wrong. Does he saying the Nostradamus of sports ball prognostication is still spot on with his Skinner prediction? I don't have the thunder sound effect on me, though.
I know. Well, because the pad on it is so long. Yeah. We have to sit here and wait.
We do.
That's a football season thing.
Friend of the show, Kevin Wilson, saying Panthers repeat champions.
Oh, Kevin, you're just throwing shots at me. Because you're mad about the Stars. You're mad about the Stars.
He's stingy because his Dallas Stars lost.
We could talk about it. We could talk about it on either next Saturday's show with you, or if an episode of Seahawks Sessions happens, we could talk about it.
Al saying, don't the Hurricanes have Brendan Moore for like 3 more years? At least he's consistent. I believe they do. Because like I said, he signed a contract extension after the end of last season because he was linked to so many teams after last season because of his success getting to the conference championship, but always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like Carolina at this point, Carolina and Dallas are almost the same team.
Yeah.
That's just me.
You made the comparison to the 2010 San Jose Sharks, and I think it's apt, especially with the Canes, especially with them.
The last comment before we go to break, does he saying that has to be included in Ryan's music soundtrack album, Carolina Panthers.
That's one of the best videos I think that you ever sent me.
I think if I make a commercial for our Fanatics link, I need to include that song in the with the commercial. Our defense is intense.
Yeah, but then that guy's going to come out of the woodwork and he's going to be like, I want to be compensated.
I don't know how to compensate you, pal. I mean, geez, you're in a commercial. Yeah. What's more to say for your dopey Carolina Panthers song? All right.
12 Carolina Panther fans are coming after you.
Yeah, shout out to Carolina Panthers. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got a lot more stuff to discuss, including our New York Yankees, a snafu with the Washington Capitals corporate sales office. And again, I make my appeal to Shane Gillis to invest in Albany and bring back the Riverettes, baby. Stay tuned and stand by for more No Credentials Required.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at righteousfelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
All right, our friends at Righteous Felon Craft Jerky. We haven't mentioned them in a while. Handcrafted craft jerky, all natural ingredients, including the beef itself. All natural, 100% beef sticks. Their turkey jerky is great. Their air dried biltong, also delicious. It's an acquired taste, but it is delicious. Dog treats. Dustin, tell them about the dog treats.
Oh yeah, Pickles loves the dog treats. He is my dog nephew. For those of you who don't know, but he's a very good little boy. But when he comes over, he gets so excited when I go to get the organic dog treats. They got duck flavored ones. They got all sorts of different flavors. He gets up on his hind legs and he jumps, while he follows me when I'm going to the door. He knows where they're kept and he gets so excited, and he will do all the tricks that I ask him to do to get that dog treat. He loves them so much. And their shipping really came through for me in the holiday season. I had forgotten to order them for him. I meant to, and we were celebrating on Christmas Eve, and they got there the 23rd during the hustle and bustle of the holiday season. Very impressive. And if you're a longtime fan of the show, you know that we did a goal scoring contest, a goal watch for Alex Ovechkin, and I have made good on our promise. My brother-in-law, he won. He got the prediction in 12 minutes before Ovechkin scored the final goal. So he is the proud winner of some beef jerky from Righteous Felon. And I got him a sampler pack, which included 8 different flavors. I'll have to check in with him to see how they went. But when I said, pick a few flavors from the website. And he said, well, they all sound good. So I just got him, a big sample pack. And I can attest to the meat sticks. I have had the street taco. That's my personal favorite. If you haven't tried that, try that. You won't be disappointed. I also had the lemon pepper turkey stick. That was very good. And lest we forget about the real one, the OG hickory. That one's delicious as always. And they have the habanero one as well. Do you like spice? That thing is hot. Get after it.
Yep. The Soul Survivor is actually really good, really spicy too. I feel like but it's delicious. And their beef sticks, they're beef sticks, which you can get in the OG hickory, the lemon pepper turkey, or the street taco that Dustin enjoys. It's made from 100% meat, 100% beef, 100% pork for the tacos, for the street taco, 100% turkey meat from the lemon pepper turkey. Unlike those other beef sticks you find at the convenience store, their primary ingredient is pulverized chicken. I'm
sorry, Macho Man.
We're sorry, LA Knight. Yeah, but Righteous Felon, one of our primary affiliate sponsors at Belly Up Sports. Go to their website, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky. Which part of the show? Brent Redlinsky from the 1420 Sports Podcast. He voiced that commercial. He did a hell of a job with it.
Oh yeah.
But like you said in the commercial, go to righteousfelon.com. Fill up your basket. Enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout. Get 15% off your order. But that's not all. That's not all. Because if you order $50 or more, you put $50 or more of merchandise in your basket, whether it be the craft jerky, the beef sticks, the turkey jerky, the biltong, the dog treats, the Wild Ranger dog treats, or any merch like t-shirts, mugs, that kind of thing. Anything over $50 in your cart, you get free shipping. Free and fast shipping, mind you. Like Dustin mentioned with his dog treats, they came in the mail fast, but you get free and fast shipping. And you can combine with the promo code for additional savings. So what are you waiting for? RighteousFelon.com. Promo code BELLYUP at checkout. You get 15% off your order. And again, every order over $50, you get free and fast shipping. It's good stuff. All right, Dustin, it's been a while, but it's time to talk about our New York Yankees.
New York Yankees?
The New York Yankees!
Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, Costanza?
It's to say, Dustin, Yankees are on a run.
Yes, they are.
A great run right now. They have won their last 7 consecutive series. They just swept the California Angels. I know, the Los Angeles Angels in the standings, but to me, they'll always be the California Angels.
Yeah.
They also took 2 out of 3, and I can't believe they still lost the game to the Rockies. God.
Yeah, that was...
They swept the Texas Rangers at home, took 2 out of 3 against those scallywags, the Mets. 2 of 3 at Seattle, 2 of 3 against the homeless Athletics, 2 of 3 against the Padres. The last series they lost was against the Tampa Bay Rays, but they were all close games. But right now, the Yankees are starting to run away. Yeah, and I don't mean to get a little cocky here.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Get cocky. Right now, the Yankees are starting to run away from the division. They are 6.5 games above the next closest team, the Tampa Bay Rays. Boston is under 500, for which we need to play this graphic, of course. Shout out to our tribal chief, the
Shout
real
out.
one, Wise El Jefe. Where is it? There it is.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Oh
Put your
man,
wings to the sky for a tribal chief.
it's been too long since we've seen Wise. We'll have to have him on the show soon. Keep an eye.
We are going to have him soon for no ticket required for one of our episodes, so stay tuned. But we might have him on for a Saturday brunch beforehand to talk about these Yankees. But right now, the Yankees are 6.5 up in front of the Tampa Bay Rays. Following them, the American League East, the Toronto Blue Jays, who are just at 500. Boston is right after that, and Baltimore right after them at 15.5 games back. But let's talk about our New York Yankees.
Oh man,
This is an incredible run, and it's not fueled by one particular person and one particular player. They're getting contributions from all across the board.
they are, and I mean, let's not forget about it. Ben Rice. People are complaining because they're like, oh, they need to play Ben Rice more because Ben Rice, he's been great when he's in the lineup. But the thing is, Grissom's been doing too well.
Yep.
Too well.
Grisham.
You know, everybody, it's ridiculous. And the pitching is held up remarkably well. Although Devin Williams, he was looking good when they put him in like the 8th inning and stuff. You're thinking, oh, maybe he'll creep back towards the 9th. He did not look good when they gave him the ball in the 9th the other night. So, but it doesn't matter if he can stay doing well in the 8th or so. Luke Weaver has been doing an unbelievable job closing. I think it's Luke Weaver's job right now.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the thing is, like, you know, like you said, it's not just all Aaron Judge. They're getting contributions from people. Paul Goldschmidt, we talked about it with Kevin a couple weeks ago. Paul Goldschmidt has been having a rebirth. I, ever the pessimistic Yankee fan, as called out by Levesque on the show, he's right. I am pessimistic about it. I never think we have enough pitching. And yes, I did just do the we. I'm sorry again. It happens sometimes. But the thing is, like, Goldschmidt, I was completely I didn't think that this trend was going to continue based on his declining overall numbers if you look at the stats. But the thing is, he's had a rebirth in Yankee Stadium. You can't call it anything else. Goldschmidt has been hitting the heck out of the ball. And it's not all on Aaron Judge. And to say nothing, I mean, a lot of people like to lob a lot of criticism at Stanton, but what can Stanton still do when he's healthy? Hit. Who's on his way back? Giancarlo Stanton. So, you know, things are going well, and you know, I'm not going to shed a tear for Boston because we just played that graphic, but there's no doubt Alex Bregman was doing so wonderful for Boston. He was a great signing, but he's out now. So that's another path. I don't know that there's anybody offensively or pitching wise that can compete with the Yankees in the division as it's currently constructed. I mean, to say nothing of what's happened with the Orioles. I almost just said Oilers.
Almost said Oilers.
You
talked about them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm feeling good about the Yankees right now. I'm feeling good. As of a few nights ago, they had won 9 of their last 10. Hey, I'll take it because, you know, it's a long season. And as John Sterling always says, that's baseball season.
Baseball season.
Every once in a while, they're going to slide a little bit. It's going to happen. It's invariable.
It's the nature of baseball. It is the nature of baseball.
But if they can,
Go ahead.
If they can keep it going, at least in the early going, and kind of distance themselves from the rest of the division, which you said they're starting to do, then hopefully it doesn't matter if they have a little dip in the middle of the season.
I'm just hoping that we don't see an August like they did in 2023, where they went on that epic slide. It looked like they weren't going to do anything in August when they had that awful August. And they still wound up winning the division. They back-ended into it, but then they got beat in the playoffs, early in the playoffs. So you mentioned Giancarlo Stanton. He's coming back soon. But they're also getting some pitching help. Luis Gil
Yeah.
On May 26th, Brian Hawk of MLB.com reported that he could throw off a mound starting today.
Okay.
So Luis Hill, he'll be back next month. Jazz Chisholm is currently in a rehab assignment in Somerset, but he should be back soon. So the reinforcements are coming. Luis Hill's coming back. Giancarlo Stanton's coming back. He'll add some power to this lineup. Jazz Chisholm will be back. His speed on the base pass will be helpful. And for every criticism that Anthony Volpe gets at the plate, he makes it up with
his defense. Yeah.
Defense. You don't see him making a whole lot of errors on defense. Although the other night he did have a really good. His bat's starting to show up again. Knock on wood. He's done pretty well recently. There's one name that we haven't really mentioned a whole lot on this program when it comes to New York Yankees, Cody Bellinger.
Oh yeah. He's having a good season.
Now for what they lost with Juan Soto, he is actually doing worse because he doesn't have Aaron Judge to protect him.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why he's not doing so well in Queens right now, with the New York Mets having that fat contract.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
He doesn't have a superstar like Aaron Judge to protect him. And when you have somebody like Aaron Judge protecting you, yeah, you can have the season you had last year that Juan Soto had before he turned his back on the Yankees and signed with the Mets. So I'm not bitter at all. But you've got reinforcements coming back, and yeah, it hasn't. Aaron Judge hasn't had to. He stepped it up in a wild way. He up until this week, he was batting in the 400s. He's batting 391 right now, but he could reach Triple Crown numbers by the end of the season for sure. For sure, at the pace he's going right now, it's incredible. But last year he had Juan Soto protecting him. This year he's got Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger, who got out to slow starts, but they've stepped it up. I think Cody Bellinger up until recently had a 15-game hitting streak.
Yes, he did.
So
15 game.
So it's crazy that hitting's coming together, starting pitches coming together with Luis Hill coming back. Marcus Stroman is supposedly coming on his way back. I don't know where he'll fit in the starting rotation, but we're not talking about two left-handers who have stepped it up this year. Max Fried putting up Cy Young Award-winning numbers.
I love that
signing. Although I think Tariq Skubal is going to be, eventually is going to be the Cy Young Award winner. In the AL, he had a Greg Maddux game just a few days ago on Sunday against the Cleveland Indians or Guardians. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's tough. Hey, we're both getting through it. These beers are hitting us. We're going for it.
We're getting at it tonight.
and the one thing that I forgot, and I want to talk to you, Ryan, about it is, to me, and I haven't watched as many games as I would like because life is happening.
Yep.
But I feel like Will Warren is starting to pick it up over the last few games. Like he's starting to get a little more confident. He's got a different feel on the mound.
He does. I think he adds a different element to this team. And again, he got off to a slow start. I think it was going to be expected considering he was going to be part of the full-time rotation this year because he joined the team mid-season last year. But let me look at his last couple starts. Because right now he's 3-2 with a 4.09 ERA. But here's the thing. His ERA has shrunk in the last 5 starts. So his last 5 starts, he pitched against Colorado on Sunday, 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 hits given up. Against Texas, he threw 5 2/3. 5 hits, no runs, no earned runs. Against Seattle, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk. Against the A's, he went 7 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. But he had 10 strikeouts against Texas. So his game's starting to pick up. He hasn't lost a game since Tampa Bay. But although he wasn't credited with the loss, actually no, he was given the loss 4 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned. Still has 8 strikeouts, but his game is starting to improve. And they needed, with Garrett Cole being sidelined with Tommy John, he'll be back next season. I think he gives that Yankee lineup a right-hander they can rely on, and I think he's going to get better as the season progresses.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know if I'll ever be able to bring myself to fully believe in Carlos Rondon, but he's had a great season as well so far. And you got to give credit where credit is due. And like you said, it's not just all on one element. There are players stepping up all over. It's pretty good to be a Yankee fan right now. And shout out again to Brent Radlinsky, because I saw a clip from his show where he was talking about if the Mets already have buyer's remorse on Juan Soto. So go check that out on Belly Up Sports. There's a lot to like over on Belly Up Sports. If you haven't subscribed, do so.
Yes.
And also go to the website and check out some of the articles, some of which are written by our friend of the show, our boy of summer for Saturdays, Kevin Wilson.
Carlos Rodon, this two-headed left-handed monster that's going to be Rodon and Fried. This is Carlos Rodon's stats this year: 7-3, 2.6 ERA in 12 starts, 72 pitches, 72 and 2/3 innings pitched, 90 strikeouts. If he continues at this pace, he could possibly reach 100 innings by end of July, which is what you want, because this saves your bullpen.
Yes.
And this was his last start against the Angels. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 10 strikeouts, no earned runs. And the only reason why that game went in 3-2 is because Devin Williams had that bad inning against that. Yeah, the Angels could have broken it open.
Yes.
Thankfully, they didn't, and he got out of that inning. But Carlos Rodon is putting together some great innings. He's had in two of his last 5 starts, he's had 10 strikeouts. So this is an incredible run that the Yankees are currently on. I think they have the 3rd best record in baseball right now. If I go to the standings real quick, they're currently 35-20. They're exactly 2 games back of Detroit for first overall, in first place in the American League overall. And if you look at the expanded standings, or the wild card standings right now, and the overall, the Yankees have the 2nd best record in terms of winning percentage at 35-20. Philadelphia is right behind them at 36-21, but they're still 0.003% in winning percentage, which is crazy because the Phillies have won more games than them, but they've also lost one more game than them. It's crazy. It's crazy. Al saying, key phrase, when he's healthy, referring to Giancarlo Stanton. Key phrase, when he's healthy. I swear that guy's made of balsa wood. Yeah, I know it's understandable, because I remember 2019 or 2017, excuse me. Was it 2018? No, it was 2018.
Oh, okay.
This first year, I think it was his first year with the Yankees, had an outstanding season. And it just seems like since then, he's been partially with the team and partially injured, and he hasn't really put together a full season. But I'm actually look it up right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the last time he played a full season, at least in my mind.
He played 139 games in 2021, which is a while ago, but he played 158 games in 2018. But here's the thing, but he's played over 100 games the last 4 seasons.
Okay.
But it just doesn't seem like that because he's injured so often. It seems like he's injured so often.
Yeah. But I mean, who was the one that stepped it up in the playoffs last year? He was hitting.
It was Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, that's the thing. He could still do it. Am I in love with the time on this contract? No. That was I remember, if you go all the way back from when he was acquired from the Marlins and then signed, the length of the contract was the problem, not the player himself.
No. And the Marlins just can't afford to keep him Why are the Marlins a team?
Yeah.
Remember why? Why? I mean, honestly. All right. Let's talk about the great Capitals email snafu of 2025. Okay. Yesterday, we had breaking news yesterday morning. It was reported that this is going to be Alexander Ovechkin's final season in the NHL. An email went out to season ticket holders. That said Alexander Ovechkin's final season. And there was all sorts of news that went out for a span of 2 hours. You just saw tweet after tweet after tweet after report after report saying it's Alex Ovechkin's last season per email from corporate sales office of Washington Capitals, and the Capitals had to go on the defensive. Their PR staff had to play defense and putting out a tweet saying, "Hey, there was a mix-up with our corporate sales ticket office, mistakenly sending an email that this was Alexander Ovechkin's final season. Neither we nor Alexander Ovechkin has said anything about this him being his final season in the NHL. This is just a mistake." So after the news came out, my journalism hat went on, and I got really skeptical. And I actually put out a tweet on my personal Twitter account, and I said, this Ovechkin announcement is odd. I know season ticket holders would get an email to drive ticket renewal, but would you want your last season, and I put in parentheses, if true, to be announced in a season ticket renewal email first? Help me understand this. And then that was at 12:35, and then a few minutes later, Sammy Silber of the of Hockey News, the Capitals beat reporter, sent out a tweet saying, "Just confirmed with the Capitals the email regarding this being Alexander Ovechkin's final NHL season is not accurate." And then the Capitals PR sent a tweet at 12:47 saying, "No decision," quote, "no decision has been made on Alex Ovechkin's future following the 25-26 NHL season. An email was sent from an individual with the corporate sales department that mistakenly alluded to next year being Alex Ovechkin's final year," close quote. Dustin, is someone out of a job as of today on the corporate sales team with the Washington Capitals?
We don't root for this kind of thing. I want to make it
No,
clear.
we don't. We don't.
But
It's just comical.
Yes.
Tragically comical.
Yes. Somebody is definitely somebody's head will have to roll for that. Excuse the metaphor or the expression. You can't be making statements like that. That person is out of a job, I would imagine.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, next year is the final year of Alex Ovechkin's contract with the Washington Capitals. So after next season, he is an unrestricted free agent. He did say after this year, after he finally set the goal scoring record, and again, congratulations to Nick for winning Ovi Goal Watch 2025.
Yeah.
He did mention that he wanted to come back next year. I thought it would be a storybook ending for him
my goodness,
set the goal scoring record. And I think he finished with 894 at the end of the season. And I thought he would get to 900 by the end of the year, but that's just me. He said it will be a storybook ending if he set the goal scoring record and the Capitals go on this amazing playoff run and win the Stanley Cup Final. Obviously, it did not come true because Carolina beat them in 5 in the second round of the playoffs. But this kind of got me thinking. This is probably the first time I've heard of. I've seen a corporate email to season ticket holders saying this is his final season, but he hasn't really made a decision yet about his future, other than to say, "Yeah, I'm coming back next year."
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of another time that has happened. The closest thing I would say is Brett Favre, but that was self-imposed. All of that was self-imposed
Right.
by Brett Favre by saying,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm done. Unequivocally, I will not be playing football next year. And then you cut and he's with the Vikings the following months later. That's all. But no PR person was involved in that. So I can't think of anything that parallels that in sports, like a direct contradiction to the words like that.
Yeah. So Washington Capitals PR had to go in the defensive and make sure people know, nope. This is not Alexander Ovechkin's final season with the team. Nothing to see here. They're playing Officer Bar Brady. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. But yeah, this is contractually Alex Ovechkin's final season with the Washington Capitals. I have to imagine he's definitely not done playing. I think he wants to be he wants to be this generation's Jaromir Jagr, where he plays into his 50s. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if his long-term ties to his homeland, Russia. He played with Dynamo Moscow during the lockout in 2012, I want to say. Yeah, in 2012, he played with his hometown, Dynamo Moscow, while the lockout was going on. So I would imagine that he would want to play at least one season in the KHL because that's his homeland, and would kind of want to wrap up his career that way. But that's just me. That's true. I can't speak on his behalf because I'm not Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah. And unlike that person in PR, you're not going to try to put words in his mouth.
No, you're not. No. All right. Before we get out of here, Shane Gillis, comedian Shane Gillis, one of the probably arguably the most popular comedian out there right now. During his stand-up, he stopped in Albany, did a stop in Albany early this month, around I think it was about 4 weeks ago. My nephew had front row seats to his show at MVP Arena, but I had to confirm it with another friend who also went to the same show because my nephew's currently in Aruba. Hey Christian, how are you doing?
CJ Beast.
CJ Beast. So I reached out to a friend of mine today. I just asked him, hey, I just want to confirm, since you were at that show, did he say anything about the Albany River Rats? And he wrote back to me and said, yeah, unequivocally, yes, he did say something about the Albany River Rats. And I said, all right, I just wanted to confirm. So I did a Google search today because I saw this clip on Instagram. I may or may not have sent it to you.
Yeah, I think you did. Either that or I saw the clip, because I have a suspicion that in some areas our algorithms are very similar.
Yeah. We send each other funny videos once in a while.
Yeah.
I might have it saved in my saved videos. I can't play it on the air. I can't play it while we're streaming because it's going to be replayed on the Belly Up Sports YouTube, and there's some salty language, so to speak. But he mentioned towards the end of his show that they should bring back the Albany River Rats. And he mentioned that when he was a kid, and you can look it up for yourself, look up the clip for yourself. I think it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram. He said that's on a podcast a little while after he left that show. He mentioned that growing up, he was a Hershey Bears fan. And for a long time, the Hershey Bears and the Albany River Rats were rivals.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of want to make this plea to Shane Gillis. I'm going to go solo for a second here, Dustin, if you don't mind.
Yeah, give yourself the one.
I'll give myself the one. So I want to address Mr. Gillis here. Look, for a long time I was an Albany River Rats fan. I went to games when they were affiliated with the New Jersey Devils for a very long time, from 93 to 2004, 2005. The affiliation left. They stayed in the area with the Carolina Hurricanes and the Colorado Avalanche affiliation. They were affiliated with the Carolina Hurricanes for a couple of years before they were sold and moved to Charlotte. I also served as chaplain for the final 2 seasons of the Albany River Rats in 2008, 09, and 2009, 2010. I think you should get some skin in the game and help bring the Albany Reds back to Albany, to the MVP arena. There's a couple of conditions. Obviously, it have to go into play. It had the right affiliation. I don't know if there's enough fans in this area who would want a New Jersey Devils affiliation again. Currently, they're in Utica with the Utica Comets. It would have to be the right affiliation for sure, but also I think they need private ownership. I know a lot of AHL teams now, they privately own the AHL affiliate. The NHL affiliate owns, the NHL clubs own the AHL affiliate. So I would absolutely love if you got together with an affiliation, say, hey, Philadelphia Flyers, New York Islanders, New York Rangers, would you consider moving your AHL affiliate to Albany? And if so, I'll become a part of the team. I don't know your net worth. I don't care about your net worth. I just know that you're a sports fan. You love sports. You love drinking beers. You love just living life in general as a comedian. One of the best comedians, one of the highest rated comedians out there currently. I say if you want to bring back the Albany Riverettes, like put some skin in the game, please. Because like growing in my late teens, early 20s, I loved going to Riverettes games. Loved going to MVP Arena, then the Pepsi Arena, watching games, watching future NHL players struggle in the AHL, then move their way up and get promoted to the NHL. I mean, guys like Brendan Morrison, Peter Sikora, Patrick Eliash,
Brian Gianta.
Brian Gianta, yes. Guys like that who were part of the New Jersey Devils system as an Albany Riverette for a long time, part of that alumni. I mean, you could be a part of it. So Shane Gillis, yeah, I'm just a guy who loves your work as a comedian. I love your bit about your uncle with Down syndrome, how he prepares his own sandwiches,
grilled cheese
sandwiches.
Yeah.
Your Trump impression is spot on. But I think if you really want the Albany Riverettes to come back, talk to an NHL affiliation, get yourself some skin in the game, and own a part of this team, and bring Rowdy back to where he belongs at MVP Arena. We
can leave Rudy though. Rowdy for life. But Ryan,
your uncle's saying bring back the Albany Choppers. Yes, who ceased operations on February 14th, 1991.
Oh man. I don't remember the Choppers all that, but I remember the name. But this is an interesting turn for the show, because in the last few weeks you've made a plea to Shane Gillis to bring back the Rats, which I agree. Return of the Rat. Let's make it a thing. Let's make it happen.
# Return of the Rat.
Yeah, here we go. And then you also reached out to Miss Rebecca Lobo and said, buy the Connecticut Sun and bring them to Albany. So we're going to see which one of these happens first. Hopefully they both do.
I hope they do too, because I want to go back to the Albany. I mean, I currently live where I live right now. I'm in the in-between. Albany Thunder or Adirondack Thunder are north of me in Glens Falls.
Yes.
And MVP Arena is about same amount of distance, 25 minutes south of me in Albany. About 25 to 30 minutes south of me in Albany. Like come on. This makes a lot of sense, because we haven't had a hockey team fill that arena since 2017. I mean, yes, we've had NCAA regionals. We've had RPI versus Union. They're for the Mayor's Cup every season for a long time. RPI and Union between the men's and the women's. But professional hockey needs a home, and Albany could be that home. And we just need fans to come out. That's all it really counts, is that if there's a backing by a comedian who's turning into a legend, fans will come.
If they build it. If you build it, they will come. Sorry.
Yeah.
Man, really off my game tonight.
That's okay. It's happy hour. We could be off our game if we want.
It is.
All right. Our favorite athletes to wear the number 39. This is the 39th episode of No Credentials Required. in 2025. In episode 276, according to Canon, we were naming our favorite athletes to wear the number corresponding with the episode for this year. And Dustin, I'm going to have you lead off here. Your favorite athlete to wear the number 39.
All right. This one is going to hurt me to say, but you got to respect this man's game. My favorite athlete to wear the number 39. I had to do some research for this one because nothing stuck out. And I see Larry Zonka. I see you in the comments, Uncle Al, but I personally did not see Larry Zonka play. I remember him most as a co-host on American Gladiators. Shout out to you, Mr. Zonka, for that, but not for opening the champagne on the sidelines with those 72 Dolphins. Mike Adamle and Larry Zonka.
Yes.
But Steven Jackson, formerly of the St. Louis Rams and the Atlanta Falcons, but we don't talk as much about his Falcons years, but he was really, really good for the St. Louis Rams. He really was, and he was very consistent for his 9 years there. And, running back is a tough position in the NFL. Your decline often happens quickly when it does happen. But for years, Steven Jackson was as consistent as could be, and I hated watching him run. But I had to admit that he was very, very good. Very, very good. And
Yes.
he put a dagger in the Seahawks' hearts for a number of years. So as much as I hate to do it, shout out to you, Steven Jackson, the running back, number 39 for the St. Louis Rams. I believe for their time in St. Louis, he might be the franchise's all-time leading rusher, which is saying something because Marshall Faulk played for that team. Do you remember? So
Yes.
yeah, it's Steven Jackson for me.
All right. So my number 39, another hockey guy. Yes. There's going to be a lot of hockey names, I think, going from here onward. But my number 39, Dominik Hasek, the Dominator.
Okay. Yeah.
Originally drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks, was part of the 1992 team that went to the Stanley Cup Final, was swept by the Pittsburgh Penguins in 4 games, but was back up to one Eddie the Eagle Belfour in that Sioux Indian head logo, which is one of the best logos in sports. I don't care who you are. It's one of the best logos in sports.
That's a great one. And you see those Griswold jerseys everywhere.
Yes. Clark Griswold. I may need to purchase myself a Clark Griswold Chicago Blackhawks jersey in the future. But in Chicago, he wore number 34 and number 31. But in 1992, his face changed because the Buffalo Sabres traded for his rights to with the Chicago Blackhawks for the 4th round pick in 1993, which became Eric Daget and Stefan Beauregard. There he would spend his next 9 seasons with the Buffalo Sabres, would win himself 6 Vezina trophies, became a 6-time All-Star, won the Jennings Trophy 3 times, won the Pearson Trophy 2 times, was actually an all-team rookie winner in 1992 with the Chicago Blackhawks, but was also a 2-time Hart Memorial Trophy winner and was named as one of the NHL's 100 greatest players in 2018. Dominik Hasek. I actually had the pleasure of seeing him play live, not once, twice in Montreal, when they played when they would play the Montreal Canadiens at Bell Center. And again, was the most unorthodox goaltender I have ever had the pleasure of seeing live. But it always worked. It always seemed to work. But after years of playing with Lindy Ruff and with those teams, he was traded to the Buffalo Sabres in 2002 for a 1st round draft pick and Slava Kozlov. Won a Stanley Cup
to the Red Wings.
To the Red Wings.
Yeah.
To the Detroit Red Wings. Won a Stanley Cup that year in 2002 with the Detroit Red Wings.
Mm-hmm.
He's listed in Hockey DB on Hockey Reference as a 2-time Cup winner, but I'm trying to remember who he was with also that he won a Stanley Cup, and I can't remember
for that first Cup. Because
he won a Cup with the Red Wings.
Yeah, that was Red Wings, right? That had to be his second Cup.
2008. So okay, so here's the story.
Okay.
He retired in 2002 after they won the Stanley Cup. Signed as a free agent with the Ottawa Red Wings in 2004. Played 2 seasons with them. Played with the Red Wings again in 2006. Won a cup with them in 2008. I believe he was the understudy for Jimmy Howard.
Yeah, I was going to say he was backing up Howard at that time.
Yes.
Had to be.
And retired again in 2008. Then became a free agent and signed with his hometown of Pardubice in Czechia, and finally retired in 2012. And but for my money, in the late 90s and the early 2000s into the late 2000s, like he was just outstanding guy to watch, outstanding player to watch, incredible goaltender. Again, unorthodox style, but he made the big save when he needed to, made highlight reel saves when he needed to. And next to Marty Burton, look, listen.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the greatest goaltenders in our era, in the era that we watched? Brodeur, Hasek, Waugh.
Yep. Those are the three.
Those are the three.
You nailed them. You nailed them.
Three. So yeah, Larry Zonka in the comment section. Larry Zonka had a fumble that has his own Wikipedia article. Yes, the Miracle at the Meadowlands, 1979. Yes. Does he saying my number 39 is Levi Wallace walked on at Alabama after being spotted in the intramural flag football championship game. Did not play for most of his college career, but finally got a chance to start as a senior. When he did start, he was an instant star. Quarterbacks were too scared to throw on his side of the field. He ended up being a great corner with size. Went undrafted, but eventually signed with Buffalo in 2018. Played with the Bills, Broncos, and is currently on the Steelers.
Man, I continue to be mystified by your Crimson Tide knowledge. Every episode, I look forward to see who you pull for episode 40. And now you have some extra time. You know, you could start researching now. But this is impressive. This is very impressive. 40, I don't know who I'm going to pick yet. We'll figure it out. But 41 is already done. 41 is already done.
40 for me is already top of mind.
Yeah.
James checking in saying, shout out to my man Logan Couture. Tough as nails, and he earned the Sharks captaincy. Painful to see his career end the way it did. Also to the legendary fullback Madison Hedgecock. And your Uncle Al saying, oh, duh, Dominic Hasek.
He said that right as you were starting to talk about that.
I noticed
it was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so in the comments section on the Belly Up YouTube side, leave us your favorite number 39. All right, we're going to get out of here. Before we do, just want to remind you on the business side to follow us on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Search for No Credentials Required. And also check out our written articles and other podcasts at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, you can subscribe to the podcast on whatever podcast platform you prefer, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, TuneIn, iHeart, and Pandora. Also our YouTube channel. And don't forget to get notified on Twitter and on Instagram. That way you know when show announcements go up. That way you know when shows are live. That way you know when clips of the show go up on our YouTube channel. You're properly informed. On the podcast side, again, rate, review, comment, all that good stuff. That's going to do it for this edition of the Happy Hour. No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. And Dustin had a smile on his face. So what was the smile about?
I I don't know. It just, I can't believe that we have made it 39 episodes in, and I don't know who I'm going to pick for 40. I was laughing to myself because I'm like, I had some work to do.
You do. You have until Tuesday. But anyway, in the meantime, go ahead.
But, you mentioned Czechia. If you get to episode 83, you might just hear more about somebody from that very same town.
I'm pretty sure.
Is it Pardubice?
Part of BJ, part of Vice, whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it. I'll figure it out before episode 83.
And Desi says, "Sucks on the beach, everybody." Thanks for tuning into the happy hour at No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. For Dustin Henry, I'm Ryan McCarthy. We'll be back on Tuesday where we'll be reviewing Seabiscuit in our No Ticket Required movie series. We'll also talk about more sports on the way, including Joy Taylor's epic F-up this past week on Speak. But in the meantime, we're going to get out of here and enjoy our weekend. So we hope you enjoy yours. We'll be back on Tuesday. Until then, have a great weekend, everyone. Be safe. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Good night, everybody. And to those watching tomorrow morning on the replay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.